Hi, Balwinder Marwaha here. Here to talk to you today about setting goals and achieving them. So many times, a lot of times as the new year rolls and new months roll, we tend to say, hey, I want to accomplish this, or this year I'm gonna do this, and we say it, but a lot of times it doesn't come through. In fact, 93% of the time, people who set goals don't follow through on them or don't achieve them. That's a pretty high number. One of the reasons that is because we don't set them properly, or we haven't chosen the right goal. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is being very specific about the goals you choose. These goals need to be relevant to you. If they don't mean anything to you, if they're not something you're passionate about, you're not going to commit to them. And when we talk about passion has a lot to do with suffering. If you're not willing to suffer for your goal, if you're not willing to really commit or make sacrifices for it, chances are you're not going to be able to commit to that goal. So keep that in mind. When you set a goal, make sure it motivates you. Make sure you're passionate about it. You get excited about it. You're willing to make changes in your life or suffer for it. The second thing is, when you set goals, you want to be smart. And you may have heard this before, SMART, SMART. Each letter, it's an acronym. So S standing for specific. Be very, very specific when you set your goals. In fact, studies have proven 90% of the time when you're very specific in your goal, you will achieve it. 90%, that's a great number. Again, being specific is very, very important. Think of your goal as a lamp or a light that guides the way. If you're very specific with it, that light is going to shine very bright. It's going to guide your way really well. But you ever tried driving on a dark night with no headlights? Doesn't go very well. Again, the brighter that light is, the brighter your specific is, the better you're going to have a path to know where you want to go. The next thing is measurable. You want to make sure your goal is measurable. So make sure that you can specifically measure how that is. For example, a lot of people choose the goal, I want to lose weight. Well, how much weight do you want to lose? Is it 10 pounds? Is it 10 kilos? Whatever it is, make sure you can measure it. If you can't measure your goal, or you don't know if you're making progress, your motivation is going to run out. The next thing is attainable. How are you going to attain this goal? Now, this part is very, very important. This is very important in the sense that if you don't know how you're going to get there, you're not going to get there. So how do you attain this goal? What things do you need to do? Does this mean you need to make changes in your lifestyle? Does this mean you need to make commitments to certain places, or go certain places, or do certain things, or read certain books? So know how you're going to attain your goal. The next thing is relevancy. Make sure this goal is relevant to you. If this goal is not relevant, or if it's not relevant to what you want to achieve, or it doesn't have relevance to your family or your friends or your social circle or your career, again, probably not likely that you're going to achieve this goal. So it has to be relevant to you, to where you are in life and where you want to be in life. And lastly, for SMART, the T, make sure it's time bound. You have to have a time limit for your goal. You can't just say, okay, I'm going to do this and not have a limit. If you don't have a limit of when your goal is going to be done by, again, tomorrow never comes. You're just going to keep pushing it off, and it's never going to happen. So set a specific time. Know that in 2 weeks from now, or in 2 months, or in 2 years from now, this is what I want to achieve. The next step of achieving your goals is writing them down. This part is very important because our memory, it's forgetful. And like I've mentioned in the past, our memory is not meant to remember things. It's meant to make important decisions and judgments. So you need to really write down what you like to achieve. And when you write down your goal, be very specific, like I mentioned earlier, but make sure you do it with a pen and paper. Good old-fashioned way. Don't use a computer. Don't put it in your phone. What happens is when you write it down with pen and paper, there's two things. One, you've put in some effort. Number two, your mind realizes that, hey, this is something that's important to me. I've taken the time to write this down. Your mind will memorize what you've written down. It's going to become It's tucked away in the back of your mind, in your subconscious mind, without you even realizing it. So make sure when you set these goals, you write them down. The next step is putting a plan into action. A lot of times we go from A to Z, but we forget about B, C, and D. You need to have a very thorough plan. You know, if your goal is to lose weight, as an example, which many people have that goal, you've done the specific, okay? So, you know, you want to lose weight because you want to be healthier. You've been specific about it because you've said, okay, you know what? I want to lose 10 pounds. And you're going to lose 10 pounds by exercising, through diet, and changing your lifestyle. So then it's measurable. We know it's 10 pounds. Attainable. How are we going to attain this goal? Well, we're going to change our diet. We're going to go to the gym, and we're going to make changes to our lifestyle. Is this relevant to you? Well, you know what? If I lose 10 pounds, I'm going to look better. I'm going to feel younger. I'm going to feel healthier. And time bound, you know what? In 3 months, I'm going to lose 10 pounds. So now you've set it all out. Now, when you put this plan into action, this is where you need to be very detailed. And you need to know that, okay, if I'm losing weight, I need to change my diet. Okay, what things are working in my diet right now that I need to continue? What things do I need to remove? Then the next thing is exercise. Okay, so right now I'm exercising like once a month. You know what? I'm going to change this to 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 times a week even, depending on what your action plan is. And continue on with that. Lifestyle changes. Okay, you know what? I'm going to make sure my last meal is a few hours before I go to bed. And I'm not going to eat at least 3 hours before I go to bed. Now you're making changes to your lifestyle. Again, make sure you plan that action steps out. You know from A to Z, without skipping B, C, D, and E, and F, what you're going to accomplish. And then, very important, to feel good, to know you're progressing, do one little thing every day that takes you closer to your goals. Now, if your goal's big, you may need to do more than one little thing. But again, if you're not doing something every day, you will not feel like you're achieving your goal. That one thing compounds. These little things add up every day, and they compound on top of each other and on top of each other, and eventually you've done so much, and you look back and you say, wow, I really accomplished something. Or, you know, hey, this last week was awesome because I did this, 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 and this. And so every day, spend, whether it's 10 minutes or 2 hours, whatever your commitment is, to getting something towards your goal. And at the end of the day, every day before you go to bed, pat yourself on the back. You deserve it. You've worked towards achieving something. You need to recognize yourself and celebrate yourself when you achieve these goals. Do small celebrations. Plan them out. You know, if you're going to lose 10 pounds and you get halfway through, plan something. Say, hey, you know what? When I lose 5 pounds, I'm going to celebrate by doing this. Maybe you're going to go out somewhere. Maybe you're going to buy yourself a new outfit. Whatever it is, make sure you treat yourself and celebrate those wins, because that's what's going to keep you going. Thank you very much. Good luck in setting your goals. If you need help in setting your goals, search me up. Find me on Facebook, Balwinder Marwaha. I'd love to help you. Thanks, and have a great day.